And you're live.
So pull that down some.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh.
Monster.
All right. Yes. Welcome to another episode of. Good. You start it off. Go ahead. Start it off, will you?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to FFN. This is the Fishing Family Network. Tonight, you are watching LKM Coast to Coast. My name is Lizard King. You can call me Lizard. And my co-host this evening is...
Monster. I am Monster Hunter, and I'm coming to you from the East Coast, the better of the two coasts. But yes, we have a fantastic show tonight, and we have a very special guest, and that is Bama Outdoors. We got Chris with us coming down from Georgia. So, Chris, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to talking to you, and yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to the show, Bama man.
What's up, Lizard?
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing really good. How about you guys?
Nice.
We're hanging in there. It's been a rough couple days. You know, the weather's changing up here. We're getting a little bit of rain. We got some snow last night. It turned to rain. Now it's ice. Just not the greatest weather in the world, but it's getting better. I can't wait. You know, want to hit the ponds myself, but you know, I'm one of those fair weather fishermen myself. So.
Oh, me too. We've had like tons of rain, and you know, one day it'll be like in the 40s, the next day it'll be like 70 degrees. I mean, you just never know what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah. How's it going up there?
You know, what are you gonna do? They're trying to start gun confiscation out here. You gotta love the West Coast. They're having a hard time, though. They're having a hard time with that. I guess they ran out of money. I don't know. Democrats running things and running out of money. It's hard to imagine. We had flash flood warnings recently. Boy, it was coming down like unicorns and buffaloes one day, and my neighbor's out there washing his car, 40-mile-an-hour winds. I tell you, there's no short of vanity out here in California. Seriously, unbelievable. Anyhow, I put some stew in the pot, and I also made some, and I'm using some Italian. That's Italian Far Out Foods, and I put some chili in the pot also for dinner. Got me some awesome bread bowls last night, so that's what's on the pot after I'm done with you guys. Since I'm, 3 hours earlier, it's early here still.
Yeah, it's a little late here, but I tell you, today's been a crazy day. My wife is going into the doctor's office tomorrow. She's got a little bit of a procedure. You know, once you get to a certain age, you got to do certain things and make sure things are functioning well and whatnot. So she hasn't eaten all day. So by you talking about food, I'm sure she's very happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made sure I showed her some when she was on earlier.
Oh, yeah, rub it in. I've been eating like a pig all day just because.
Hey, everybody. Let's, Bama and Monster, let's say hi to some people in the room. Hey, Prickett. What's up, Jenny Prickett? Marty McKinney. I've never seen Marty McKinney before. Hi. Welcome to LKM Coast to Coast. Jason. I'm going to leave his last name alone. Let's see who else is in here. Mr. Hard Charger. Welcome, Mr. Hard Charger. Boy, he's been a great addition to the fishing family lately, huh? He is an active chap.
He sure is.
Let's see, who do we got in here? Fishing Stripes, welcome to the show. And me, I'm there.
Marty's on there. We got Bass Tamer on there. I see a whole bunch. Marcus Schwarm just arrived. Absolutely. We got quite a few people online right now. I'm excited about this. I'm excited. Nice. I don't know how to make moderators. I got control over here, but I just don't know how to make moderators of the channel in the chat room. So
yeah.
It's going to get a little crazy. We might have some people in there throwing, all sorts of stuff around. That's okay, because that's the kind of channel this is. We're just here to have a whole bunch of fun. And Yeah.
Holy cow. We got Marty in there. We got the Huntress Monster. Hey, Jack. Everybody knows Jack from Jack's Lures, Jack Valenti. We got Bass Tamer. Who else we got up in there? Marcus. Hey, Marcus. How are you?
Jax.
Jax.
I love it. Yeah, so tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway at the end of the program for some of our listeners that are live. And I don't want to say, but we have a pink crankbait, and yes, it's a legendary pink crankbait from the great Aldo Rosado himself. So I'm kind of excited about this. We might even be able to get it signed for you. So we're gonna do a little giveaway at the end of this at the end of the program here, and we'll get that out to you as well. So, all right.
Speaking of giveaways, I got a very cool announcement to make.
Say it.
Our friend over at Martise Lures, Marty Mack, is willing to give away a customized lure tonight. It's a twister tail.
Nice.
Twister tail is what he calls it.
Nice.
And in order to be able to win that, you've got to be able to answer a question. So I've got a little question I want to throw in.
All right.
Got a little challenge, and whoever gets closest to this at the end of the show will be able to win one of these baits, and Marty will customize one for you and send it right to you. So when I was 14 years old, I really got heavy into bass fishing. And that year I caught my the biggest bass I'd ever caught. So the question is, how big was that bass I caught? And whoever gets closest to that the pounds and the ounces and everything will be able to win that bait, and Marty will send that right to you.
So your personal best bass was at 14 years old?
No, that's when I first caught my biggest bass.
Your biggest bass.
I mean, that was my first big bass. Let me rephrase that.
All right.
So
first big bass, 14 years old. All right, where was the body of water? Where were you, Bama? Where were you?
I was actually in a farm pond in Alabama.
Excellent. All right, just to whittle it down, guys, a farm pond in Alabama. He's 14, so this has got to be like 75 years ago.
Exactly.
So go up there and start doing the research.
Hard charger went big at 37 pounds.
Close. But
all right, so, I'll try and keep track of these here.
Yeah, you keep track. I got a little story because this is something that I think is going to be the next big thing. All right, I'm going to give everybody a little bit of information and try to. We'll have to bounce this one around, but I think we have something here, and I think if we do it all together, it might just work. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, all right, I'm sleeping, I'm sound asleep, and all of a sudden I wake up because I find my wife on her phone. And she's looking at the screen, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I think, but I'm like, I Twitter all the time anyway. So I go back to sleep, and half an hour later, I wake up again, and she's still on her phone. And what the heck is going on? So I look over, and it's a bunch of women trying on clothes. And I'm like, what is this? And she goes on these sites. I guess it's on Facebook, and a lot of people do it. Goes on, and there are women out there that will model clothes that you can buy in the mail. Like you buy it from Facebook. Huh. I forget what the name is, like a LuLaRoe or some sort of online kind of selling thing. But anyway, got my wheels turning, and I'm thinking, how awesome would it be if guys did this? Like not necessarily selling clothes or anything, but I mean, every once in a while I get some extra tackle, and I'm like, oh, I bet somebody else would want this. And I think it might be the next multi-bajillion-dollar idea. Any thoughts, guys? You want to join? I'm gonna start videoing tonight.
I think it's a great idea.
You know what else is a great idea?
Oh, I got a great idea for you.
Clearinghouse.
A clearinghouse.
For boycotts. All right? Nice. Boycott clearinghouse. That's what I'm talking about. We just need 5 million members on a website. We can figure it out.
That way you can put Procter and Gamble up there and
anybody you want to boycott, just put them on a website.
Anybody you want to boycott.
Just boycotting things. I think it's
all
great
these
idea.
people are coming after your guns and your liberties. We're gonna boycott these companies. Ooh, dude, that Gillette company. Ooh,
Oh my God,
did you see that thing?
That's a great company, though. See, it's in Boston.
No,
they have that stadium, which where the Super Bowl champion Patriots play.
I'm sorry, but you're putting out videos that are making me out to be a
Video out for that.
You're making me out to be an insensitive. You're expanding the patriarchy.
Yeah.
That ain't it. That's not what's going on. We're sensitive guys. Look at Bama. He wouldn't hurt a flea.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Hurt a flea.
Really wouldn't. I love watching Bama's channel, though. Bama, I absolutely love watching your content. When you get out there fishing, it makes me want to just get off my couch and go fishing. You catch some.
But that's what it's all about. That's really what we're trying to do, man, is just get people out there and enjoy the outdoors, When we got into YouTube, really what we were wanting to do is just, kind of bring people into our life and try to give them a glimpse of these beautiful North Georgia mountains we live in. We have access to so many great bodies of water, creeks. We have Lake Lanier. We've got nice reservoirs everywhere. And we just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to really experience, everything that's out there, get them out fishing and just enjoying the outdoors, man. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm going to start off the show here with a question.
Okay.
But before I do that question, if you're out there and you haven't smashed that like button or haven't subscribed to this channel or hit that little bell notification, shame on you. You're not allowed to win anything on this show. I'm just kidding. Do us a favor. Do us a favor. It would do us a big solid if you subscribe to FFN. This is the Fishing Family Network. This is LKM Coast to Coast. There's a lot of other shows that we're going to be having on the Fishing Family Network as time goes by. Make sure you hit that bell notification and a thumbs up. I'm going to start with a question for Bama. How did you get the name Bama?
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
That's the one right there.
Hey, it's my people think they know what my name is. They think they know how I got my name, but there's always something deeper behind a lot of these names that people don't realize that, just on the surface type stuff. So, Bama, how did you get your nickname?
Well, I moved to Georgia when I was 10 years old. That was back when Georgia was really booming. It was really growing. My stepdad at the time was in construction and everything, so we moved over from Alabama to come over here so he could make a good living and everything. And I'm originally from Fort Payne, Alabama. So I had this jacket that said Fort Payne on the back of it. And so when I came over and I got into school and everything, my gym teacher, I forgot what his name was, but he started calling me Fort Payne. And so my nickname was Fort Payne for a long time. And then
not exactly easy to say.
No, but he always, hey, Fort Payne, come do this. Hey, Fort Payne, come do that. Go run laps, Fort Payne, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I decided to change my jacket up and started wearing Alabama T-shirts and everything like that to school, which I didn't go real well in Georgia, obviously.
Right.
But after about a week of wearing those Alabama T-shirts, he changed it from Fort Payne to Bama. And so ever since I was about 12 years old, I've been called Bama. And it's just kind of stuck with me, everywhere I've went, especially here in Georgia. As soon as folks find out I'm from Alabama, it's just, they just, the jokes start flying and everything. But anyway,
sure.
So Bama stuck with me. I kind of like it. It's better than a lot of other names I've been called.
Let me tell you a funny story, actually. Well, not a funny story, but just a little background about me. After I got out of the military, I didn't want to come back to Massachusetts right away, so I actually stayed in Georgia, and I moved to Norcross, Georgia, which it's a little sketchy area, but I worked on Lake Lanier. As a matter of fact, I know that you fish that lake quite often, but I worked at a place called Aqualand Marina, which at the time it was the largest inland marina in the country. And that lake, Lake Lanier, built by the Army Corps of Engineers, unbelievable fishing there, just fantastic fishing. But yeah, I love Georgia. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, Georgia's really a beautiful place. It really is. I love it here.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, I got a question for you.
Sounds good.
This is always a good question. My wife actually wrote a couple of questions for me to ask you tonight, Ben, because she's also a big fan of your channel, and we sit here, we watch it all the time. I binge watched you for like hours on end a couple of weeks ago, but she wants to know, what is your best fishing story? Everybody's got a fishing story. Everybody's got a tall story about their fishing. I mean, size does matter. Opinion, size matters. And
that's what I've been told.
And she says, what is your best fishing story?
My best fishing story. I would have to say my best fishing story is the day I caught my PB bass, my biggest bass I'd ever caught in my life. And this was about 3 or 4 years ago. I just had moved back from Alabama to Georgia again. I've been from Georgia to Alabama on a couple occasions. And so I moved back here about three, maybe 4 years ago. And one of the lakes I fish here nearby, which if you watch any of my videos, you'll see, you'll recognize it. In a lot of those videos, I go to that lake, but it's really close by. They've been, in fact, in this one lake, the PB out of this lake is 17 pounds. Oh. This is more or less a reservoir, really, what it is. But it was a beautiful day. I was expecting to catch a lot of fish. I went out there, and you guys know, anybody who watches my videos know I love to fish Cincos. I'm a Cinco man. Cincos all the time. So I went out fishing that day, and I started on one end of the lake. I fished for probably, I don't know, maybe 3 hours. I threw everything in my tackle box, and for the life of me, I could not catch a fish no matter what I did. And so I was starting to get frustrated. I kept trying different techniques, kept throwing different lures. And finally, I just got so frustrated. I said, you know what? Everybody has one of those days where you try to go out and do the best you can, and just for some reason, you just cannot get a bite. So I started walking back toward my truck. And as I was walking, there was this one tree laying over in the lake that really just stood out to me. It really did. I said, I cannot go and leave without at least making a few casts in this one spot. So I take the old trusty Yamamoto out, made a couple casts, and on my third cast, from beneath this tree, all I saw was a mouth. It was like this big, come from beneath that tree, come up and inhale that freaking bait, dude. It freaked me out. It was the biggest fish I had ever caught. I was nervous, and I mean, this is before I started doing videos too. I mean, my heart was just beating out of my chest. I had 3 or 4 people on this side, a couple people on this side watching me try to fight this fish. I was on a bank that dropped maybe like 4 feet, and right at the very bottom there was like briars, poison ivy, everything in there. And when I caught that fish, I knew I was going to do whatever I had to do to get that fish. So I just jumped off the bank, jumped down into the briars. I had no idea if there was like a big snake or anything in there, but fought the fish for a few minutes, got the fish in, and it was 10 pounds, 3 ounces.
You hit the 10-pound bass club. I have yet to do that myself. That is a bucket list. Like everybody wants to hit that 10-pound freshwater bass, and 10 pounds, 3 ounces. That's it right there. You can throw the rods away if you want to. I
had dreamed my whole life about the idea of catching a 10-pound bass. I think up to that point in time, I had caught like a 7.5 pounder, and I just kept keeping my fingers crossed, kept trying different things. I said, maybe one day, before I die, I'll catch a 10-pound bass.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's like a hole-in-one in golf, you just don't do it. You could go your entire career and never get a 10-pound bass. But, jeez.
I've never caught a 10-pound bass.
In your paws.
That's hands down my best fishing experience. My best, most exciting time I ever had. Fishing that whole day, guys. I was out on the water when I took in around 5 hours. about 5 hours. One fish, 10 pounds, 3 ounces. Didn't catch nothing else.
It's all right, though.
That's all you need.
One fish all day, I'd be happy as hell. You kidding me?
I'd put my rods away for the year.
But, you know, like 10-pound bass all day. I mean, that is a great story, actually. That is a great story. What about you, Frank? What's your favorite fishing story? Let's learn a little bit about Frank, about Mr. King.
I don't know. Wow. I mean, I probably my biggest fish was a 242-pound bluefin. That would be probably my best fishing story. 2 hours and 12 minutes to land that fish.
Nice. Wow. Yeah. Arm sore.
Yeah, I mean, I have another. Oh yeah, that was beyond sore. I did. You know, we had to tag team that. You can't go 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 12 by yourself.
So, what technically it's not really your fish. You know, if somebody touches your rod, it's technically not your fish. It's a split fish, so you might have, if it's 200 something pounds, you get 100 pounds of it. Doesn't really count. I don't want to say anything else or anything, but it doesn't really count.
So a popular thing that we do out here is we'll go overnights down to Mexico. You go down to the dock at 10 p.m., you hop on the boat, you rig up, you settle in, maybe have a beer or two, meet some people on the boat. You go down deck below, 5 a.m. If you're up early enough, usually there's a fish on, and that's how the day starts. So we got to a first spot, probably caught about 15 to 20 yellowtails, I think one bluefin, maybe a mahi-mahi, and then the fishing died off. This is at 5:45 in the morning. Wow. And we drove around till I think it was probably 2:30, 3 o'clock all day long, spot after spot, nothing. We finally get a call at 4 o'clock. Now, mind you got to start heading back to San Diego when you're in Mexico, right around that time. And so we got a call from one of the sister boats, and they were on a bite, and they called us over. They were about 5 miles away. We hightailed it over there, and they were chumming for us. They took off back to San Diego, and we caught 242 yellowtail in 45 minutes. Wow. And then back to San Diego. I've got pictures where the entire deck is lined with tuna stacked next to each other all the way around the deck, like 2 deep.
Awesome.
Yeah, it took probably an hour and a half to clean the deck to get the fish down below. And I came back there was a guy on there that was out of town, and he gave me his fish too. And I came back with over 400 pounds of tuna. That was just one incredible trick. Yeah.
It's nuts. We have a striped bass run here in Massachusetts. The beginning of the summer, we'll start the run into Buzzards Bay, and then at the end of the summer, it runs out. But it goes through the Cape Cod Canal, and if you've ever fished the Cape Cod Canal during that run, you know that every single cast for days. It's not even for hours. It's for days.
Yeah,
those fish are on that lure, and it's amazing. You actually go 4, 5, 6 hours, and you leave because you're too tired of fishing. It's not because you're missing out on fish or the fish aren't biting. It's because you just physically can't do it anymore. And
that is crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. My favorite fishing story of my own isn't so much about size or the catch. It was the time that I had. It was actually the very last time that I went fishing with my dad. He passed away in 2006. Unfortunately, cancer and whatnot got him. But this is going back probably 2002, 2003. We were out on a deep sea fishing charter. We used to go every Father's Day. It was something that my dad would do religiously, every Father's Day. In our very last trip together, we were catching striped bass like it was going out of style. Everybody around me, we had 6 guys on the boat. All 5 guys are catching striped bass except for me. I was only catching bluefish. In a sea of striped bass, I caught bluefish. Crazy, but it was the best time that I had, just because it was time spent with my dad. It was time spent with my family out there. It wasn't so much what we were catching, but it was just the feeling of being out there and fishing, So that's the one that I hold closest to me is that last trip with my dad before he got sick.
But, you see, you guys, I would trade my 10-pound, 3-ounce bass, largemouth bass experience just to have either one of those experiences you just told me about, man.
I tell you, I'd give it all back too if I could have another fishing day with my dad. Absolutely, I'd give all these fishes.
I'd give all of it back.
Yeah.
For my dad is still alive. I lost my mom about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, actually, this February. Yeah, of course, for a parent, I'd give up my entire fishing career for some time with them. But Bama, I tell you what, I wouldn't give up my 2 fishing stories for yours.
10-pound bass, I might though. Jeez, 10 pounds freshwater bass. That's a close one.
I'll wait a while and get my 10-pound bass eventually. But
I mean, some of y'all stories are like stuff I watch on TV, man. I see guys catching those big stripers on TV. I see guys catching the big tuna and everything, and I'm like, that has got to be one of the greatest experiences ever.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad. You got to keep in mind that's a once mine. The 242-pound could be a once in a lifetime. Probably not. And then catching 275 tuna in a span of 45 minutes. That's maybe a once a year endeavor or something like that, or once every 2-year endeavor. So it's those, we're bringing up the best of the best stories. On average, I go out there and, I come back with 10 tuna or something like that, and they might not even be huge. They could be 40 pounders, 50 pounders, stuff like that. But
yeah,
we call those footballs. We call them footballs.
Right.
Yeah. So Bama, let's go with another Bama question.
I love Bama questions.
Because Bama for the longest time was a little bit of a mystery to folks. He was a mystery man. He'd go out there. He'd be out there fishing for his trout, and not a lot of people knew a whole lot about Bama. So we're here trying to find out information about the Bama man.
I got a question from the board, actually, and it's a good one,
Ooh,
actually.
Let's bring
Mr.
it.
Hard Charger just came up with a question. He wants to know what Bama's favorite rod-reel combo is.
I'm down with that.
Favorite rod and reel combo. Actually, it's probably a Walmart special, to be honest with you. I mean, literally, I go and I buy most of my stuff at Walmart. Like my trout rod is just a ultralight ugly stick, and then I have a little Shimano spinning reel on there. So it's nothing really fancy. I mean, it just goes to show you, you can catch fish with, just about anything. Obviously, there's a lot better stuff out there. But for me, I live out here in the mountains. I'm not able to get to, some of the big, nice, like Bass Pro shops and things like that. I mean, it's really a journey for me to find the Bass Pro shops around here. It takes me like an hour and a half just to get there. So a lot of stuff, I just buy it at my local Walmart and make do with what I got. But yeah, it's a ugly stick ultralight, and I use a little Shimano spinning reel for my trout fishing.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, almost probably 75% of, well, let's say half of my stuff is from Walmart. I got those Shimano ultralights for my trout fishing. I just recently, I think it was like a year ago, started to upgrade all of my bass stuff. But I was fishing Daiwas and Abus that were 30 years old. I mean, stuff that I was fishing when I was a kid. You take care of it; it'll nearly last you forever.
Yeah.
I have since moved some of that stuff. I kept my stuff kind of shifts down. When I get new stuff, it becomes your new stuff, and then it's down maybe kids or it gets a catfish rod or something like that. But Okay, so I have a $500 reel. So I have some $300 reels, things like that. Maybe, $700 combos and stuff like that. But it's important that people realize out there, and especially the kids, that $20 will do the same thing that $300 combo. I mean, I have two. When I first started getting into tuna and stuff like that, I bought two rod and reel combos from Walmart. There was a pen that I bought, and it was $35 combo, and an Akuma, I think it was $29 combo. And I'll tell you, I've probably caught 2,000 pounds of tuna on those Walmart saltwater rods.
Mm.
And my freshwater rods from Walmart, just, I mean, it's Shakespeare and Shimano, and you can get all kinds of great stuff from Walmart. I really want those kids to not get discouraged and not focus on stuff that we buy because we've been around the block a little bit, but just focus on getting yourself a something nice and something quality that's going to last forever, because you can always shift it down the spectrum as you get better stuff, and it never goes to waste.
Absolutely.
I've got unbelievable,
I'm actually going to be doing some videos for the Fishing Family Network that we're just going to toss up there, 3-4 minute videos. But it actually got me thinking, because I was talking to Ed Seiler, Causing Trouble, from Twitter, and we were discussing this, and we're going to come up with, or we're going to videotape a segment where you can actually get out fishing for under $10, and that's from start to
finish. I like that.
All right. And it's possible. I've been doing some research on it, and it's, for under $10, you can get up off that couch, you can get out fishing, catch yourself a fish. So that's going to be a little video that we're going to be tossing up there, and I'm actually going to put challenges out to everybody that's in the fishing family to do the same thing. Find yourself a setup for under $10, whether it's at a garage sale, whether it's at a flea market, whether you're making your own, getting a stick, putting some wire on there, some a hook in some line, and getting out there and catching a fish for under $10, because it's possible. And that's going to get a lot of kids out there excited. Like you watch these YouTube channels, you're like, oh, all right, everybody's catching all these great fish, but I don't have the money. I don't make, I don't make a allowance or whatever. For under $10, you can get out there fishing, and you can catch yourself a fish. And I tell you, if we can do it, I think it's going to catch on. I think it's going to catch on.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea.
All right, Bama, I got another question for you. How old were you when you first started fishing?
That was my question. I thought it was my turn.
Yeah, no. You're too slow. Too much of a lag.
Let me see. I would say I started fishing probably at about 7 years old. There was about 3 years in my when I was younger that I spent a great deal of time with my grandparents. Both of them are passed away now. They were two of the most important people in my life. But my grandparents owned a really big farm in northeast Alabama. We had a really nice creek that run through the property all the way through the farm. And this is back when kids spent a lot of time outside. I mean, when I was growing up, you spent all your time outside. The only time you came in was to eat supper, take a bath, and go to bed. The rest of the time you were outside. So we had a utility room on our carport where my uncle had some of his old fishing poles. When I'm talking about old fishing poles. I mean, these things were like, I couldn't even bend them. They were so, old school. But then there's a big old tackle box that used to sit in there, and it was a lot of my uncle's lures, a lot of my grandfather's lures. And I would sneak in there when no one was around. I'd take one of my uncle's fishing poles, and I'd reach in that tackle box, and I'd get one of those old school little beetle spins. You remember the little beetle spins?
Oh, yeah. That is my father's lure of choice.
Beetle spin. Oh,
he gets laughed at all the time, but you know what? He'll catch anything on that damn beetle spin.
Oh, you can, man. You can catch. I've caught probably 5 or 6 different species of fish on that thing.
Yeah.
I would sneak off down in that creek at 7 years old and stand on the edge of that creek on rocks and just catch. I'd catch suckerfish. I'd catch catfish. I would catch rock bass. I would catch bluegill. I would catch brim. and you name it, you could catch it off that little beetle spin. And that's really where I started getting the passion for fishing. And so a lot of times when I do my videos, you know, it kind of takes me back to those days when I used to stand on those creek banks, especially when you see me do my trout fishing videos. It puts me right back at that point in time in my life, being next to my grandparents' house, you know, fishing in the creek. Because I mean, I didn't have anybody ever tell me how to fish. You know, I just had to learn by experience. I still have a whole lot to learn, and you know, even a lot of times these days when we go fishing, we're always wanting to catch a big fish, but it's not necessarily the most important thing on our mind. You know, it's just about getting out there and you know, getting back with nature and enjoying the outdoors. And so a lot of my fishing videos and things like that, it takes me back to that point. So I think every fisherman has a story about their childhood, you know, learning to fish. Just very special memories. So
Absolutely.
about 7 years old.
Absolutely. That's great. There he is. Hey, welcome back, Frank.
Hey, home slice. I had to check on my chili and my stew.
Is that what the banging around was? And you shut the video off and all that stuff? Don't worry about us. We're just watching.
What, do you want to see me dance in the background? That's what I do when I'm stirring my chili. This is what I do. I stir my chili like this. Can you do that?
You don't want to see me dance. That's one ugly.
I bet it is. And I bet I can only see you clopping around on some makeshift dance floor with somebody playing Play That Funky Music White Boy in the background.
Last time I danced was at my sister's wedding in 2003, and I was so intoxicated that I thought I sang better than the wedding singers, so I jumped up on stage and I started singing, and I don't remember much of it. I seen the videos. I tell you, it was an ugly, ugly night. So, yeah, unfortunately, I put the dance shoes away.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Oh, God, I hope the video never surfaces, ever. So let's go to the board here. Let's see who's here. We got a couple more people that came in. I saw, Marty's Lures. Hold on 1 second here.
I want to do a shout out. Jerry's in the house this evening. A couple shout outs, actually. My buddy Jerry Kayak Bass and Fool. He's a pro kayak bass fisherman. I just saw him in Indiana when we went to do Shave That Stash with
Skip. Yeah.
With Skip. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I saw Jerry while I was there. I think we got Jerry. Did you end up getting on Twitter, Jerry? But at least he's here on YouTube. And Jerry, I'm interested in Jerry is probably going to be one of our anchors as we expand some of these tournaments, some of these freestyle tournaments.
Sure.
Because he's a big kayak fisherman out in Indiana. So hey, thanks for coming in, Jerry. Miss you, buddy. No talking about our dancing that evening. We're gonna leave that mum's the word.
Blue Collar Fishing's in the house. I just saw Kelly arrive.
Nice.
Kelly, nice to have you here. Awesome show last night. I absolutely loved it, and I will be tuning in.
That was
Sunday at 8 o'clock on Blue Collar Fishing. He's got
one. That's the massive. It's a powerhouse. Yeah. You come on and you watch Blue Collar Fishing on Sunday night and come right over here on Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Central, and watch yourself some...
Central, 7 o'clock. That's all right. Don't worry about the times. As long as
Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Out for you. Everybody else can figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's right. Jerry is on Facebook. Oh, there's my uncle just came in here, Peter Knipp. That's Uncle Bubba.
Nice.
Uncle Bubba. We're going to have Uncle Bubba on the show one day.
We definitely will.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, I had another question for Bama. Let's do one more question. Yep. And then maybe people would be people want to get some. Maybe people want to win some things, huh?
Yes, let's do it.
What is this? Yeah, custom. That's from Crankin Customs. Does beautiful work. I got, or maybe we want some spices. I don't know. You know.
Or I got a little something special here, and I know he's in the audience, so I'm gonna actually give this guy a shout out because I tell you, he's probably the most unbelievable, amazing custom lore artist I've seen. All right.
Oh, that's a Martese.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a Marty. Yeah,
That's a Marty Mack custom crankbait, and he made that specifically and specially for me, and I really appreciate it. And I tell you, the artistry of these crankbaits, unbelievable. Absolutely. This guy is just absolutely unbelievable. So I'm going to give away an H4M custom Marty's Lures crankbait. All right.
Somebody won a Lizard King last week. Who won the Lizard King last week?
That was Mike Burnside. Oh, you know what?
He crushed it last week.
He did, and I think I forgot to send that off to him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I know I sent the package. I don't know if I sent the custom swim bait. If I did it's on the way. I'll have to check.
I am like 3 giveaways behind. Everybody, don't hate me. I'm doing a mass mail off tomorrow, and I'm still waiting on the jersey from Marty. We're working on finishing up that jersey for Jason. Yep. And that'll complete the Lizard 5000. I'm sorry, but those jerseys take a while, Jason. I do have that poster for him. That's going to be that signed right there behind. That's what Jason's getting, actually, the signed LKM Cup poster.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming to you. But one more question for Bama. Okay. We'll make sure everybody gets what they're supposed to be getting. Trust me, that you're never gonna. I'll even send you more stuff. I really don't care. I just want everybody to be happy.
You just want to get it out of your house. Tell the truth.
Yeah,
I'm doing. Just giving everything away.
Give it all away. You do not even want to see what the bookcase looks like right now. There's 20 there's 20 boxes right now. I got to open it for everybody.
Oh,
jeez. You want this hoodie, Ed? Ed likes this. Check out this hoodie.
Oh,
like that hoodie?
Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah.
It looks like a Miller. That's right, yeah. Miller.
Exactly.
I got you.
All right, Bama man. Bam. How did you get? This is always a curiosity question. Even when I was expected to have my Lizard King fishing thing up. My Lizard King fishing YouTube up months ago. We're so ridiculously behind with all of our projects, kind of fell behind. Thankfully, we got this thing going, really got our creative juices going, and we're rolling with something, and that's awesome. And even though I didn't have that YouTube up and we were busy with Twitter, people were always asking me, that they wanted to start doing YouTubes and can I help them and this and that and the other thing. So I think something that people are always interested in, and this you're going to add your personal spin to, but how did you end up getting into YouTube?
Let's see. Originally, it just started out as like a little experiment I was doing. I wanted to capture some of my own footage on video and be able to come back and watch it and things like that. So I started out and I bought me a little GoPro, and then I got out and started doing some fishing. And then after a while, I started thinking to myself, there might be some people that might actually enjoy this, because I know there's not a lot of people that they get to do as much fishing as a lot of us guys get to do, and we're very blessed and fortunate to do that. And like I was telling Monster earlier, I thought, I live in such a beautiful area of the country that provides so many opportunities for outdoor related things like, camping, hiking, and fishing. And so, I put up a video one day and opened my little YouTube channel up, and it got a few views. And I said, well, I kind of enjoyed doing that. So let's do it again. And then I said, well, I'll do something a little different. Let me do a video on how to rig and tie a spinnerbait. I just thought it'd be a good idea. So
it went nuts.
I sat down at my picnic table one day, and I said, well, probably 90% of everybody in the world knows how to tie and rig a spinnerbait, I think. But I said, maybe not. Maybe there might be some people that don't know how to do that. So I sat down and I did a little video, and right now that video has 41,000 views.
There's 41,000 people who need to know how to tie a spinnerbait. That's exactly what happened.
I've probably watched it a dozen times.
Appreciate it.
I still
Thank
watch
you
it
for
every
every
time I
view.
put on a spinnerbait.
But
I just put it
you
on
know,
replay, and it just plays on my screen all day
so
long.
half of those views are actually from you, right?
That's
I appreciate it, man. But then, I started expanding things a little bit. I started out doing bass fishing, then I started doing trout fishing, and then I was really blessed and fortunate. I got me a Jackson kayak, and I tell you, kayak fishing, it just opens up a whole new world for anybody who's never kayak fished before,
Yeah.
and it just gets you to those places you can't get from the bank, and you can't, take a boat out there, a motorized motor, anything like that, gas powered motor. So yeah, I just kind of got addicted to it. I love doing it, man. I love sharing my adventures with people. I love where I live. I love fishing, obviously. So it's just something that I really enjoy doing. It's just a passion.
I'm glad. I tell you, I'm
Oh, yeah.
glad that you like it, because I love watching your channel. That's the one thing about YouTube that I absolutely love is everybody's out there and they're doing the same thing that you want to do. Not all people can get off the couch that day, and you still want to enjoy the time spent out there. But now we're doing it through your eyes, which is it makes it nice. It's great that you're filming your adventures out there, because we get to experience a little bit about what you're doing. And I just love it. I love your channel, Bama. Keep going.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. I really am. Yeah.
I agree. There's a certain genre out there, and Bama's obviously multifaceted on his channel, but I don't always like, and Marty was funny. He told me when I started my channel, he said, I was asking him, just getting, testing the waters. What do people want to see? Things like that. He said, as long as there's no screaming guitars. So no screaming guitars. So there are these channels that are very high impact, and you don't necessarily learn a lot about fishing, and you actually don't. They're really not lifestyle stories either. They're more of stories of excess, which are fun. It's always fun to sit out there and see people having fun. But the reason why I gravitate more towards, like, say, Bama's show or
Blue collar
realistic fishing or blue collar fishing is there. You get into the character, right? You get into knowing Bama, you get into knowing Blue Collar and his family, and they're relaxing. They're cathartic watching these shows. They're not running and gunning and watching people making a fool out of themselves in Vegas. By the way, you'll see me make in the future. You'll see Sonny and I make fools out of ourselves, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But it's peaceful to see somebody out in these great spots. What drew me to Bama's channel, and I think I had Bama before I even got into Twitter, was his spots. Mm-hmm. You go to the most insane spots. I mean, I can't even replicate those spots.
You can't even draw them. It's like they're unbelievable. They're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous spots you got.
We have probably within 20 minutes of where I live, I could probably go to 10 different creeks. They're really different type of feel when you go there. Mm-hmm. All of those creeks have their own little special thing about them. I mean, some have waterfalls, the foliage around it, and things like that. I mean, I feel very lucky to live where I live. I went to other places before, and it doesn't. I mean, even when I go on vacation or something like that, I look forward to coming back because I realize I live in such a great place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really want to share as many places as I can in this area to all the viewers and stuff like that, so they can just see what North Georgia has to offer. It's a beautiful, very beautiful place.
Absolutely.
And so
And it wasn't very populated before you actually started talking about it and filming it, but we're all moving right next to you, and we're all going to take over those fishing spots. It'd be great. We'll have a big powwow.
I want to find out where you catch those 12-pound trout.
Jeez. Did you see the last video?
Oh man, that was an awesome video.
Actually, that.
You want to talk about that video a little bit, Bama?
Yeah, okay. I ran into this guy in Helen, Georgia. I don't know if y'all know where Helen is, but I ran into this guy who. This happens more often than you think, and I don't really have that many subscribers. But when I'll go around, I'll have somebody recognize my voice and say, "Hey, you're that Bama dude, right?" And I'm like, "Holy smoke! Somebody actually watched my video." And I'm, I'm freaking out. And he came up to me. He told me, "When are you gonna get tired of catching those little stock trout?" I'm like, "Dude, I love catching those little stock trout." And then he pulled out his phone and he showed me this picture of a 14.5-pound rainbow trout he caught.
Oh.
The trout was literally about this. I mean, it was like over half the size he was. It looked like when he held it out. It was so big. And he's like, "How would you like to go catch some trout like this?" And I said, "Can we go now?" So we got to talking. I gave him my number. He gave me his number. So we hooked up. I didn't really know what to expect. And he took me way out in the mountains. And he asked me, he said, "Are you ready to do some hiking?" Yeah. I said, "I'll hike as long as we got to go. You know, to get the trout like that." I said, "I'll walk. How far do you want to walk?" So we walked through these woods about probably 2 miles. That day I did not bring my waders. And we ended up having to cross one creek to get to this spot where we eventually ended up. And when I got there, it was just, I mean, it was one of the most beautiful spots I'd ever seen. And within two casts, this guy caught a 6.5-pound rainbow.
Jeez.
2 casts.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
And so for the first few minutes, he was wearing them out. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's taking me to freaking school. And I can look down in the water every now and then and I'll see a trout like this big just swim by and I'm trying to catch. He said, "Don't worry." He's like, "Don't worry about it. You'll get one before it's over with." So he stopped fishing for a minute to retie a hook, and I was like, "This is my moment right now." He's not fishing. He's not fishing. So I casted back up where he had casted, and sure enough, he got about halfway down. And then it was on, dude.
Awesome.
And I was using that little ugly stick ultralight and that little Shimano Walmart spinning.
I saw it. Yeah.
All you need.
That's awesome.
And it ended up being about 9.6.
Wow.
Oh,
9.6.
That's a giant, though. For guys like me that don't catch big fish, you got to get little hands, little hands like this. So that when you're holding your fish, they look huge.
Send me a pair of those.
I will.
We're going to have to get some, and I think a lot of people would like to see us do those on a giveaway.
It's a secret that we just divulged publicly, so I guess we could start giving them away, but that sounds good. Look at those, huh? Aren't those great? And they're so lifelike, especially in pictures. I've never caught a fish over 3 pounds, so they just look huge.
Oh.
Oh,
there's so many jokes I can make right now.
Oh, no.
I know. I set myself right up for that one. That's horrible. Woo! Good stuff.
Oh, those are hilarious. Hey, you know what? Bama, we should give something away.
Let's give something away.
These people have been so wonderful. I can't thank everybody enough. You all are just incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely.
Off the chain.
Off the chizane.
Yes.
Hey, I want to give a couple of shout-outs while we're here.
Let's get some.
Now, we've been interacting with a lot of people on Twitter and whatnot, but I've been actually checking people's YouTube channels out, and I see a couple people in the chat room tonight that I want to give a special shout-out to because I've checked their channels out, and they're unbelievable. One, Fishing Stripes. She was our first guest on LKM Coast to Coast. She just put up a new video, and it's a fantastic video. Kids getting out fishing. If you're not subscribed to her channel, head on over there, subscribe. You won't be disappointed in that one. Another one, Mr. Hard Charger. If you go check out his videos, his edits are unbelievable. I mean, he takes you on that journey. He's out there fishing, and he's tuned in. I got to learn some editing techniques from him, because he's got some good edits on his videos over there. So if you're not subscribed to Mr. Hard Charger as well, head over there and subscribe to him. And then, of course, Blue Collar Fishing's on there. And if you're not part of his channel, he's doing a live feed on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. I stayed in it all the entire time, from start to finish. It was entertainment. It was fun. It was exciting. Great content. He was talking. It was just great. So head on over to Blue Collar Fishing. And, of course, our guest, Bama Outdoors. If you guys aren't subscribed to Bama right now, you've been missing out. He's got plenty of content that you can binge watch. You know, some of his earlier videos are great as well. So go way back, start binge watching from start to finish, let me tell you. And end on this last video that he has with the gigantic trout that he caught. Just a gigantic trout. It was awesome. I loved it.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, we have a goal this year. We set a couple goals for ourselves, but one goal we've set this year, we're going to really try to do our best to put out more videos this year, and better quality videos. But we really want to try to hit that 2,000 subscriber mark, you know, by the end of the year. That's kind of a goal we're working towards. So we appreciate any support we could get. We'll be very grateful.
Absolutely. I mean, you're definitely going to hit it, Bama. There's no way that you can't. Yeah. Already at 1,200, 1,300, 1,200.
Yeah, somebody, I think.
Yeah, it's
yeah. I mean, once you started moving once you broached the 1,000.
Yeah.
I tell you, getting to that one point, and I got to give a big shout out to all you guys who, you know, encouraged me along the way and helped me out doing that. You know, I feel like paying it forward. So anybody out there who's trying to do the same thing, you know, I'm here. I'll be happy to help out in any way I can. But yeah, once you hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is very, very hard with some of the new rules they have put in play and everything, things do get to moving a little better. So if there's any advice I can tell you, just keep on keeping on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll make sure that Bama's information is in the description, and that way people can go after the live feed and check out the description and just go ahead and do a link to Bama right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anyone on here, you know, we only have so much time in our days, so I'm going to speak for myself, and I think it's probably mirrored to Monster and some of us, you know, even though I really do not care how many followers, this, that, and the other thing. That's not, look at that.
That's a whopper.
That's a huge lure right there.
That's a pink salmon. My, you know, what I love, and I think there's a lot of people on here, we do know, you know, like Ed Seiler, Big D. How's he doing, by the way? We should talk about that in a little bit. So Dennis Bigelow, there's a lot of us on here. My only goal is just help people. I just really get a hoot out of helping people and giving people stuff. You know, I just really enjoy that. So,
did you
know,
I give a hoot?
Hoot. Yeah, hoot, you know. Hoot.
Okay.
That's what we say.
I wasn't sure exactly what that word was. I think it was hoot.
Hoot. Yeah. I give a big hoot. Don't pollute. The point of the matter is that you know, we have we got Bama over 1,000. We made that big push, and then as people kind of get closer, when we know a marathon, we had the Bamathon, right? When we know that we can get these people closer, then we make that big push. Blue Collar is kind of coming up in that range where we can get him over the edge here pretty soon.
Yep.
And there's, of course, Chris King Outdoors and was it Big Guy Outdoors, and OTF is making a big push. He's still pretty far away, but
he'll get there. I mean, he's got some great.
Yeah, he'll get there
as well. You know, on target fishing. Yeah. It's the floaty, though. You know, I'm thinking the floaty. Yeah. You know, maybe we can for a boat or something.
I love helping launch new YouTubes, and I love helping people. I love, people call me and they say, how do you do this? How do you do that? I'm willing to tell anybody. Well, usually at the detriment of my own content. But you know what? Life is a journey. I really don't care. Monster and I really don't care. We're just having fun. And that's the key. Oh, blue collar was 856 today.
856. That is the push. We're right there.
He is right there for the push action here.
Yep, we got to get him 1,000.
Yeah. Anyhow, we love everybody on here. Okay.
I'm going to do a shout out to blue collar on my next video.
Excellent.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. We promised a giveaway here like 10 minutes ago, so let's give something away. And we're not giving away the you're gonna have to wait till the end for that pink crankbait.
Well, because
now these crankbaits were handmade, and Aldo commissioned these, and Aldo has thanked us for promoting Aldo, the Legend of Aldo, so much that he wanted to get involved. I know you guys want to. It's going to happen one day, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have Aldo Rosato on this show, and we are going to interview Aldo Rosato. So that is something you all need to be looking for in the future. Yep. He's kind of a shy guy. Everybody knows how he is. He's a pretty shy guy. He doesn't like to talk about himself very much. He's not very boastful. But we're going to get Aldo Rosato on the show here one day. But right now we got Aldo Rosato products, and we're going to start to give some of these away. These are going to be collector's items. They're going to be signed by Aldo, and you can own a piece of history yourselves. I mean, this is arguably, Aldo Rosato is arguably the best fisherman in the world when you hear his stories.
Self-proclaimed the best fisherman ever to grace the waters.
Grace the waters.
Grace the waters, period. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if it wasn't for him, KVD would have never won the Classic. So.
Well, that's what he said. Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
And he won it with that pink, not that pink crankbait, but that crankbait right there.
Yes, pink crankbait.
And that's how KVD won that Classic. He consulted with Aldo. And
if you want to catch fish, you fish where the fish ain't.
Which aren't. Yeah.
Which aren't.
Ain't.
So let's give something away, for God's sakes. These people have been starving over here. They want something. What do you want to give away? You want to start with some chew?
Yeah, of course. You got to start with some coffee.
You got to start with some chew.
Start with coffee. Cowboy coffee.
Let's start with some cowboy coffee chew here. We're going to give away 2 cans of cowboy. Hey, Bama, you ever try cowboy coffee chew?
Love it. Love it. Yes, I love it.
As well, actually.
Who wants a couple of cans of cowboy coffee chew?
So what do you want to do? Do you want to?
What do you want to do? How do you want to get? Do you want to do a piece of Bama trivia?
Ooh, we could do some Bama trivia.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. So
we just put Chris on the spot. He's starting to sweat.
I'm scared.
Go ahead, Frank. You kick it off.
You ruined my only question. All right, here's how. We're going to be starting a new segment. It's going to be very weak. It is going to be very weak this week, but the new segment is going to be called. This week it will be called Bama Trivia, right? So these are going to be flash trivia questions about our guests, and you can look forward to seeing this segment in LKM Coast to Coast from week to week. Essentially, what will happen is we'll put up trivia questions. People will answer the trivia question, and then we'll spin a number wheel. And the person who has the answer to that question in the position of the number wheel is going to be the winner, because sometimes the questions are going to be easy. So, if it's the fifth person to answer, or 10th person to answer, whatever, and we're just going to go down, and that's how people are going to win those trivia questions. So I'm going to have the Lizard Queen. She's over here. Wave your hand.
Hey. All right.
The Lizard Queen is going to write down a number, and it's going to be a number. How many people we have? 21 people. It's going to be a number between 1 and 21, and we are going to ask the audience out there this question. Marcus already got it going. I'm surprised I don't see a bunch of numbers coming out already, right? The question is going to be, oh, Marty says, hey, Shorty. That's Heather's. Liz Queen. The question is, what is Bama's first name?
Ooh.
It's actually...
That's a tough one.
What is it?
Please don't read all of them. Okay, read them out loud.
Speaking of which, where is Stephanie?
Is she not on there?
I don't think she is.
Oh my!
Oh, we'll have to
call Country Mama and yell at her now.
You have to text.
What's really going on?
All right, can you count down for me, Lizard Queen?
12, 17, 22, 8, 11, 7. And then we have a whole bunch of correct answers.
Who else knows? Who else knows is Bama's first name?
Everybody in the chat room.
We still don't have a winner.
We don't? Oh, what do we need?
No, remember, we wrote down a number.
A number, and then we need his first name. That's right.
No. They just have to put his first name up there, but we have a number, and we're counting down.
So keep on putting his name up there until you are the number.
Oh, gotcha.
I gotcha. So this is like that Pusa Studios. They do the same kind of thing in their gigantic chat room.
Yep.
So everybody's got the right answer, except for Jennifer. She said your name is Jerry.
I wonder what it says. His name's Chris.
All right, so we got...
There's 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's that one right there. Back it up. It is that one right there. All right, so
number 11. Who won?
Okay, so it is the winner of 2 cans of Cowboy Coffee Chew is John Klopp. Now, I know you're all going to look and say John was 10, but if you go back and look a little further, somebody says his name is Chris, and that's Marcus Schwarm.
That's right.
And then you go 10 down, and that's John Klopp. So congratulations, John Klopp.
Major League Coffee did some Cowboy Coffee.
Hold on 1 second. We have a contest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we were wrong. Oh. Right there.
I know, that's 10.
No. Look, it doubled up. Yep, see?
That's still 11 right here.
No, this was 10,
okay,
and that's 11. So, John Klopp, you are the winner of 2 cans of Cowboy Coffee Chew. And we're going to send that out to you right away. Everybody loves Cowboy Coffee Chew. It's a cup and a pinch. If you lack energy in your life, just stick a little pinch of this in your chaw. Chaw? Is that a word?
It works.
Chaw?
Okay, there's a dispute from the wife that says Ed Seller is 11, but you know what? Ed and John, because I screwed up, I'm going to send you both cans of Cowboy Coffee Chew. That's double winners. That's 4 cans of Cowboy Coffee. That's 2 to John Klopp and 2 to Ed Seller. Sorry about the mix-up. Sorry about the mix-up, Eddie. And John, also, you are the winner of 2 cans of Cowboy Coffee Chew. We love our Cowboy Coffee Chew and our Major League Dip. I've gotten so many people, you know what I do for a living. Not everybody knows what I do for a living. I like to keep that quiet. But often I have to be up for 24 hours or 36 hours at a time with no, and you can't be continuously sticking dangerous chemicals and products inside your body, and this is a healthy alternative. Cowboy Coffee Chew, a cup and a pinch, and you can eat it when you're done. Even if you're not a coffee lover, if you had chocolate covered espresso beans or anything like that, this is just honey, cream, and the finest coffee out there. The Cowboy Coffee Chew guy, at least that's what his kids are calling him, uses the finest coffee to make his Cowboy Coffee Chew. So thank you very much, Cowboy Coffee Chew. Congratulations, Chris, and congratulations, Ed, and congratulations, John. Bama, you don't get any.
We'll send you some too, Bama.
Hey, big shout out to a friend of mine in the chat room, Dito Ortiz, or as we like to call him, 40s, because his name is Fernando. So Fernando Ortiz, Dito, we call him 40s. Welcome to the show, 40s. And 40s, you're likely to see 40s and my buddy Joe on the show one night. And the reason being is because they are the ones who know the real reason why I'm called the Lizard King. Everyone thinks they know, but we're going to have them on one night. We're going to save that for a very special night for people, and you can find out why I'm really called the Lizard King.
I got to watch that episode.
I have to watch that episode too. Apparently, I don't know. Jeez, I thought I knew everything. I just don't know that one. I got my own story as to why you're the Lizard King. But G-rated show.
I thought we decided, what happens in Massachusetts stays in Massachusetts.
All right, yeah, I guess kind of like Vegas.
Hey, Cod. So Ed and John Klopp are big winners.
Yes. Congratulations to both of you guys. You're gonna love it. I know Ed's tried it. I don't know about John. I think I might have sent him some out.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
John's relatively new to the whole scene. I mean, he's been around a while, but relatively new to our wranglings around here. So let's go into another question, and we'll probably do 2 questions and start give some more stuff away. So let's
give away.
Whoa, I thought another question.
All right, well, let's ask another question. Ask another question.
2 questions.
2 questions,
and then we'll do a giveaway.
All
right. I think it was your turn for a question.
My turn for a question. Absolutely.
Your turn for a question.
Because I am right on that. Hold on one second. I got a whole list right here. I really don't, but I'll send you that. Well, I came prepared.
This is why we need to share our questions.
That's what I'm thinking. I had a whole llist of questions, but I lost that book. My dog ate it, I think.
I had to. The wife had stacked up all my papers, because because look at it, because this stuff is usually like spread out over my entire, breakfast buffet here. Oh, yeah. And I had it was 6 minutes before, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like rifling through everything. I found them though. Would you like me to start one off while you think of one there, Mom?
Yes. Why don't you start one off and I'll think.
I am a little bit of a fishing fanatic, and I grew up in a generation, I know you did too, Bama, where there was no such thing as TiVos and no such thing as even videotapes and such. You had to watch television, and you had to know when that show that you wanted to watch was going to be on, and you popped your popcorn or whatever, right? And you went and saw it. There were magazines, right? There was In Fisherman and a few things. But my question to you is, going back to your childhood, who was your favorite angler and why?
Jimmy Houston.
The man himself, James Houston?
Yeah.
I think I have some paraphernalia around here.
paraphernalia.
Last time he said
Yeah, man. I got some paraphernalia. Can I do that on camera, man?
And he's going to go rummage around for Jimmy Houston paraphernalia. Why don't you tell us about? Oh, okay. We see this every show. I take it.
Look at that. This is a fish measurer. It's a little damaged right here, but it's made out of Bakelite.
Measurer.
Yeah.
Measurer.
English is a second language.
It's made out of Bakelite. I don't know how old this thing is, but wow.
2017. What?
It's not 2017.
All right, Bama, I got a question for you. It's a good one, all right? Let's talk bucket list. Let's talk bucket list fish. What are you give us your bucket list fish that you want to catch.
At the very top of the list would have to be, let's see, a snook. Not a snook, let's see, tarpon.
Ooh,
hands down. I would love to catch a tarpon.
They get giant too.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know, they're so majestic, you know. They're so shiny. They're so shiny.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Huge, man. I see those guys fishing up under those bridges and just pulling out giants. I mean,
absolutely. Oh yeah.
Speaking of fishing up under the bridges, I'd have to say grouper.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Like a big Goliath grouper kind of thing.
Yeah, a big Goliath grouper like that.
That would be nice.
Probably I like to catch a nice sized brook trout also.
Ooh.
You know. And I live down here in the South, so we don't get a lot of opportunities to catch smallmouth bass. So I've always wanted to catch some nice smallmouth bass. You know,
have you caught some smallmouth bass in the past though, right?
I think I've only caught like 2 smallmouth bass my whole entire life, believe it or not.
Wow.
So I'm envious of some of those guys I see on social media, like Chris King and Canuck Bassin and those guys who just, and Big Shane, they have like monster smallmouth bass.
Oh yeah.
Down here we have a lot of big spots, so Lanier is filled with big spotted bass. So that is fun. That is fun. But hands down, tarpon is probably my number one. That would be my number one. Absolutely.
I like that. I'd love to catch
peacock bass too.
Ooh, peacock. Yep. I'm hoping to catch a peacock this summer. I'm going after the peacock bass in July, so hopefully we'll see. Now 2019 just started. We're in February. What are your goals for 2019?
My goals is to fish more, complain less, and try to take the extra time to put out good content to all my viewers and everything. And that's really what I have in mind right now. I mean, not a lot of big goals. I just try to take everything one day at a time and have a better attitude. Last year I went through a lot of struggles. This year has started off really well for me, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm going to keep my list short for now, but as it, you know, I'm sure to grow throughout the year. Just trying to face each challenge every day, but yeah, definitely more fishing videos, more content, and getting to some places that we haven't done videos yet too.
Right.
Some new spots. In fact, I think we're going to be taking out the kayak to Lake Lanier this year. We haven't done that yet. So we're going to take the kayak and get it out on Lake Lanier and maybe do some spotted bass fishing and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. That sounds like a plan. I'm actually going to be in Georgia. I want to say it's the 7th of July. So I'm hoping, Bama, we can coordinate that we can get out on the water together while I'm down there.
I'd love to do that, man. That'd be great.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna see what fishing family members are around there as well, and maybe we can all get together and get out on the water and do some barbecuing, some storytelling.
Yeah, I think we got a few. We got a few Georgia people in the fishing family, don't we?
Yeah.
Quite a few. Yeah, quite a few in Georgia.
Oh yeah. It's
That'd
a
be
real
great.
strong state for fishing family folk. Absolutely.
Yeah. When we put some money together, we're probably just going to come down there for 2 weeks and just film and film and film and film and film.
Well,
Um,
now that we know
unfortunately, we have spread the dollars thin.
Yeah, it would be cool, really cool to have one monster episode of like several people from Georgia getting together and
absolutely,
just spending the day going fishing. That would be great.
that would be awesome. Awesome.
So a little mini tournament or something.
Hey, there you go. That's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Great idea.
Plus, I
Absolutely.
mean, we're of course I'm sure you're familiar with. We're all interested in starting the annual fishing family get together this year. We'll see if that happens, but
Definitely.
That sounds good.
All right, Frank. Did you come up with some questions for giveaways or what? Are you still stirring the chili? I don't know. You went off
yeah,
air a couple minutes ago.
I had to stir the chili. I had to stir the stew. I tell you, it's not easy. I'm moderating. I'm running stuff over here. I got the wife. She's over here clickety clacking on the keyboard here for me. It's a big operation here, folks. I just don't roll out of bed and look this beautiful. It takes a lot to happen. All right. You know, I am always interested, and this is just a personal thing, and perhaps we can get a little feedback here because we have people here live. And that is, the first time I saw Little Bama, I was a little freaked out. I was like, holy cow, that is Little Bama. And two, do you have plans to get Bama out a little bit more in your show this year?
Actually, that is, yeah, we do. This summer, his mom and I are separated. So, I mean,
okay.
he stays with his mom, but this summer he's going to be spending more time with me than he has in the previous summers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to round him up a kayak as well and get him out on the water with us more. I mean, some of my most memorable episodes that I've done on my videos have been the times that I've been able to spend with him. He just adds a whole new dimension to the video.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got a great little personality, and he's actually not very small. He's actually as big as me, and he's only 12.
I know. He's a big kid for his age.
Yeah, he's like 5'8", and he weighs 145 pounds.
At 12 years old.
At 12 years old, and wears a size 11 shoe.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
And he plays football. Boot.
Yeah, he was linebacker this past year.
Oh.
Well, it's not likely he's going to need those little finger hand things.
No, his hands are already.
How is it fishing with him? I know it's still quite a challenge with my kids. Ever since probably about a year ago, I've gotten a lot more response, especially from our son, who he's really interested in the YouTube part, probably more than the fishing part. But I've taken him out sometimes, and up until this point, it's very difficult when they're really young. It's you're not fishing at all, and then when they get into that 7, 8, 9, 10 range, they're interested, but their attention span is a little lower. And of course, they're not going to catch, as many fish because they're a little impatient. How is it now that he's kind of getting into that preteen stage? Is he starting to become more of an interesting character out there beside you? Is he still very curious? Is he still have an attention span? Is he getting more into that role as being your sidekick?
He is a little bit. He's not as impatient as he used to be, and he's willing to try different things. Therefore, about a year, I mean, if he didn't catch a fish in 15 minutes, he was ready to go home. And that made it tough. So I learned a long time ago, always bring a pole that's got a bobber and some night crawlers close by.
There you go.
Normally, he would always lose his attention when it came to trying to catch a bass. He was very impatient with that.
Sure.
So we would just take him, put him a night crawler on and a bobber, and throw it out there so he could catch a brim or two, and he'd be back up to good spirits again. And so we'd go back out and try to throw a lure every now and then. But yeah, he's definitely getting more into it now, and he's taking it more serious. and he really really loves being in the kayak. I mean, that's where he's really in his element in the kayak. He loves fishing in a kayak. So this year we're going to get him a kayak and we're going to get him out there. And I think this year he will probably catch. I have a feeling he'll catch his biggest bass this year.
Yeah.
I really do.
I like it.
So if he can catch one about 4 pounds, he'll be hooked for life. It'll be over.
Oh
I
yeah.
know it will be.
Yeah,
It'll be-
I remember I remember that age range, and I don't know if my uncle is still on here watching or not. But that was kind of about the age range where I started to. I had a couple bucks in my pocket, so I could go on to Bass Pro. I didn't rely on my uncle to give me hand me downs, which most of my stuff was from my dad or my uncle as hand me downs, and my uncle had a. Oh, I remember that early '80s Lakeland boat with that 40 horse 40 horse Mariner on there. I had a couple bucks in my pocket, so I could go onto Bass Pro and buy myself a buzz bait or buy myself a spinner bait. And that was kind of that age range where I started to gain a little bit of personal seriousness about the sport, and where my brain was no longer in Kidsville, I actually could put 2 and 2 together there for the first time, because the fishing game is really about putting 2 and 2 together, right? If you can't put 2 and 2 together, well, you're just going out fishing. There's nothing wrong with that. But that Pete's still here. But he remembers that old Lakeland boat. Do you want to do another question, or do you want to go into giving another something away? I've got a couple more segments that we can do. I've got the bucket list segment. That's something that everyone's going to want to see. Oh, look, what do we got?
I got a Marty's Lures custom crankbait here that it's just burning a hole in my pocket. I want to give this away because somebody else has to see this thing up close and personal. I tell you, the guy is an artist, and if you haven't gone and got a crankbait for Marty made yet, you have to get in touch with him. He's at martyslures@gmail.com, I believe it is. Maybe we can put it up in the chat room.
Yeah, if you're not on Twitter.
Yep, if you're not on Twitter, just direct email them. But you'd be surprised, and there's so many people out there that don't know that they can get custom crankbaits for, I mean, maybe $1 or $2 more than what you buy in the box stores, and you get your own colors. He'll design it. He'll paint it to your to your specifications, and they're amazing. I mean, the guy is just unbelievable colors. So,
well, I was, I didn't even realize that you could get these artists to hand paint you your custom cranks. But look, if you go to Bass Pro and you look at, and there's great prices, there's no doubt, and they catch fish. But you can go and you can see all the defects, and you can peel off. You literally could go right there, straight out of the box, and peel off some of the coloration and stuff like this. This is like car painting.
Yeah,
I kid you not. This is absolute perfection. Fully epoxied. You're not going to get crankbaits like this. This in my hand right here is from Crankin' Customs. He's also a guy. Everybody knows that Marty's my main man. But I also, I do promote other people here in the fishing family.
Yep.
At the end of the day, Marty's my main man. And 99% of all of my crankbaits are Marty's, and they, of course. Ooh, what is that? Did Marty make that?
I don't even want to show this because I'm not giving this away. I'm not giving this away tonight.
Is that a Marty?
That is a Marty. All right,
dude. Do you realize how good of a winter bait that is? That's one of those That is one of those adjustables too. You see those holes on top, folks? You can adjust that for action. That is an excellent winter bait because those adjustable holes are for different seasons. And during the winter, you want that bait to chatter. Here's one tip for everybody. If you're not catching bass in the winter, it's because you're fishing too fast. It's the first thing I'm going to tell you. And fishing for bass in the winter in cold weather conditions is slow. And if you're not fishing, you need to go out there and you're like does everybody remember those rattle bobbers and the tubes for crappies where you just kind of, if you're not fishing for bass slow in the winter, you're not going to catch them. You might catch a few, but if you slow it down, you will catch, because the key to winter fishing for bass is contact on the bottom. You got to have that bait contacting the bottom. Wow. That's another Marty.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Another Marty right here. I mean,
just deep diver. Holy cow. That's absolutely a monster.
And all of Marty's lures are coming with, if I can slow that down, are coming with Trapper Tackle hooks. Nice. And I tell you, Trapper Tackle, they took a hook, a hook, all right, a 5,000. I'm sorry, I did some research on this. Hooks have been around and found 23,000 years ago. They had hooks, all right? Now, Trapper Tackle has taken that same hook and made it better after 23,000 years. Unbelievable. These Trapper Tackle hooks are razor sharp. They're strong. They're innovative. If you're not using Trapper, you're gonna want to try them out. And I tell you, they hook a fish and they don't let it go. So I think we should get rid of, or we should give away.
Get rid of?
We're not get rid of it. We're going to give it away. All right.
I got some stuff in my bathroom, trash can. We's going to get rid of it.
All right. So
I'll mount that stuff in a bag. We'll ship that right out to you tomorrow.
So this right here, this H4M custom Marty Mac, it's got #monster on there. This H4M TV.
That's a beautiful bait, man.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful. It's purple, blue. There's some flecks in there. Just gorgeous, gorgeous.
I think something that people don't realize about those Trapper hooks is those are not bends, people. Those are not bends in the hook. Those are all welded design. So every one of those bends you see in the hook are welded. So there's virtually zero flex. And so those are not weak points. They're actually stronger than the flat points in the hook. And this is what's super important. I mean, when I first started fishing them, and I am 29 for 30 on Trapper hooks, and I filmed every 30 of them. And the loss on the fish was my fault on the one that I lost. But compared to circle hooks, I am far ahead on the Trapper hooks. Now, Trapper does not work on every bait. If you're trying to, fish into some plastic, you do have to alter some of the thicker plastics, especially the thick frogs and things like that. But I use them whenever I can, whenever they fit and whenever they're pertinent. They're a great hook. Strong. I have never met a stouter hook than Trapper Tackle.
That was a great commercial right there. We should videotape that sometime. A stouter.
We should stouter hook.
Never met a stouter hook.
That's perfect.
Tackle. That's nice. I like that.
Let's give something away, Bama. Let's do
it. How do you want to do it, Frank? How do you want to do it?
No. Why don't you ask Bama? He's our guest.
Yes. Bama, how do you want to do it? You want to ask a question? You want to do what?
Let's see if we can get rid of the twister tail. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the twister tail. Let's see who can get closest to the pounds of that fish I caught when I was 14 years old.
Yes.
Whoever gets the closest will get a custom-made twister tail lure from Marty's Lures.
All right. I like
that.
Okay,
everybody, you are going to. This is Bama's first biggest fish. You're going to look for pounds, ounces. Start putting up some numbers, and Bama knows what we're looking for. So let's start putting up some pounds. We're going to open this up here for about 30 seconds to a minute. Go ahead and fill some time there, Bama. What do you want to talk about while we're waiting for people to put up some pounds and ounces?
I'm trying to think about something to talk about. I'm kind of in that.
I know. I'm watching the show too. I kind of just want to sit here and watch it. Tell you the truth, having fun listening to you guys talk.
Isn't it fun how I catch myself watching the show.
I know.
This is actually the first time I've ever went live.
Oh really?
So, I mean, this is a new experience for me, but
really.
I enjoy it. So
well, that's groundbreaking.
I got to do some more stuff like this.
Are you paying attention to the numbers that
Oh, yeah. We got 9.5, 10.3, 4.7, 10.3, 10.6, 9.5, 6.6, 6.75, 7.9, 6.8, 11.3, 5.7, 14.6, 7.5, 5.9, 10.4, 5.5, 3.9, 10.8, 10.9, 4.75.
Cut it off whenever you
Okay.
want.
5.7.
Okay. We got. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how big the fish was. I heard
Right.
two. I heard two that was just an ounce below and an ounce above. So we got to figure out how we're gonna do this.
All right, say the number. We'll figure it out.
Okay, 5.6 ounces. I heard a 5.5.
5.6. We got a 5.6.
We got a 5.6.
5.6. I just got it up here. It went up before you told the answer. And the winner is, let me just see and make sure nobody else said it. 5.6, John Klopp. Congratulations, John Klopp. You got 5 pounds, 6 ounces on the dot.
Yep, farm pond bass.
So you're going to be receiving a, what are they getting?
It's a
Marty's
twister tail.
Twister tail from Marty's.
It's a twister tail custom bait. It looks a lot like a whopper popper.
Awesome. Marty's Lures Twister Tail.
Yeah, we get my. You can either send me or we can get Marty that information over, and he'll get right on that and send him his new lure. That's
Awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome. Good.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting out more of those. Marty's sending me some of those whopper ploppers for the show, and we're gonna be putting out more of those whopper plop. Well, sorry,
Not
twister
whopper
tails. We can't call them whopper ploppers. That is a proprietary name. These are Marty's turbo tails.
Turbo tails, twister tails. Yeah, turbo tails.
Turbo tails.
Turbo tail. There you go. Marty's Lures Turbo Tail.
Turbo tails. So we're gonna be we've got more of them gonna be filtering into the system for giveaways. So did John? So that's John.
Got 2 Cowboy Coffee chews going, and he's got the Marty's Lures Turbo Tail coming.
I think he went and talked to Burnside and figured out how to game this thing. Mike Burnside won everything last week, Bama, and we had to do a final giveaway where he wasn't involved because he kept winning. It was the dude had luck, like it was unbelievable.
I think he actually hit me up on Twitter like 30 minutes before we went live too. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
All right, I got John written down for Turbo Tail. We might have to do a system where the person who wins the previous is not entered in the next.
Well, with only 20 people watching live, the chances of winning multiple times is great. It's great. I would watch this live just for the gifts, just for the prizes in the hands.
Well,
in the hands.
Watch the show and go for it. Just watch the show and go for it.
That's what I'm saying. We can't exclude people from winning for winning. Are you
Everybody
kidding?
out there watching right now, you don't worry. If John's winning too much, we'll find a reason to give somebody else something.
That's horrible. That's horrible television right there. If you're winning, you're winning. If you're not first, you're last.
That's it.
JKB.
Like, well, who was that? I tell you, I am always a bridesmaid, never a bride. I'm always like one from the top on Gumpas.
I know.
You always get me. You always get me.
I've been doing giveaways for the past, 6 months now? I think
it's probably because I work.
I don't think I've won ever.
When you just sit at home.
I know.
And darn socks.
All right.
Iron sock.
It's starting to run a little bit late. Let's do a final giveaway.
No.
What?
Negative, Ghost Rider. We are showing everybody. We are introducing a new segment that you're likely to see every week. It's going to be called the Bucket List.
The Bucket List. All right.
All right, Bama, this is a flash round. This is for our guest only. And for our guest only, this is called the Bucket List. So it's going to be 3 or more questions, and you have to answer quickly. And we want to find out what your bucket list is, Bama. So here we go with the...
Hold on, Frank. Wait. when you were cooking chili,
Yes.
Yes.
we had asked this question already.
Oh,
So
what?
the audience actually knows what Bama's bucket list is. So should we ask the audience what Bama's bucket list is, and the first person to respond will get a prize?
No, I was
You
listening.
cook chili during a show.
You asked him his bucket list?
Oh my God! If you only listen to what we talk about.
I kept the thing on. I was.
Yeah, they weren't working. That's all right. Hey, this is a segment we're going to call the bucket list.
The bucket list. Bama. Chris.
Yes.
Your bucket list fishing spot. Go.
Oh, fishing
bucket list fishing spot. Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah.
Not Alaska or.
I mean, you said
he's like 20 minutes away.
Now, if you gave me like 5 minutes to write them down,
anywhere in the world, bucket list fishing spot.
Anywhere in the world, I don't know. Catching salmon in Alaska would be great. I don't know, something like that.
Species, yes. Bucket list species.
Bucket list. I want to catch a tarpon, peacock bass.
Okay.
Goliath grouper. I'm going to go big.
Bucket list flotation. Would you be interested in the ultimate kayak, the ultimate tube, a bass boat, a saltwater boat? What would be your ultimate form of flotation out on the water to catch fish?
Ultimate, oh gosh, you put me on the spot, dude. There's so many.
Hey, that's why it's called the bucket list flash.
Okay. Ranger bass boat. I mean,
wow, Ranger bass boat. They're pretty versatile, especially down in your area. And people in Florida are super lucky because a lot of their waterways are very estuary-like, and you can use that bass boat for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fantastic segment that we did about an hour ago. Just saying, chili doesn't really match with live television. Oh boy! So now
put my microphone back on.
So now, how do we give this away now?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Hey, Fishing Stripes, have a nice night. She's losing her phone. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to go to the Apple Store and invest yourself in multiple sources of ways to watch FFN, the Fishing Family Network.
Because obviously, with Frank talking, it's going to last at least 2 hours. Jesus.
It'll last forever.
All right. The last giveaway, we have a very special Marty's Lures custom pink crankbait, and it was commissioned as a very special lure. There's only, as of right now, there's only 12 in existence with this color, with those trapper tackle hooks on them. And these things, I tell you, there's a guy named Aldo Rosado that won every single tournament he's ever been in using the pink crankbait. All right, it's nice. It's nice. I like that.
So we are in contact with Aldo, and we are gonna try to get Aldo to sign these for everybody. These are gonna be collector's items, and you're likely to see them here periodically, however many Aldo is willing to commission. And look forward to our interview with Aldo Rosado himself here on FFN one day.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it's going to happen. It will happen. Fingers crossed. All right. How do you want to do it? What do we want to do? We want to do a number? Do we want to do a question? Anybody?
Anybody? What's your, let somebody guess your bucket list fish. What's your bucket? Your bucket list fish.
My bucket list fish is going to be, ooh, that's such a good one. It changes almost weekly for me because I watch YouTube channels and I'm like, oh my God, I want to catch that.
Yeah.
Or I watch something on TV and I'm like, oh my God, that would be awesome. I would love to catch a black marlin. I think that's probably my bucket list fish. A giant black marlin would be awesome. Barracuda. I haven't caught a barracuda. I heard they're a lot of fun to catch as well.
They're delicious too. I've got some in the freezer.
Do you really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We catch them a lot here.
They're bony though, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean it's if there's one skill a fisherman needs to know about processing fish, is that you got to learn how to process out a Y bone.
Yeah.
That's you got to learn how to process your northern pikes, your muskies, things like that. They all have Y bones, and there are great techniques there out on YouTube on learning how to process out that Y bone, so you don't waste all the flesh on those Y bone fish. And there are ways to easily get the meat off of Y bone fish, and I use my small pieces for my fried fish, and I take those big fillets and turn them into entree type dinners. Maybe trim them up and throw all my trims in with some of those Y bone pieces that aren't so huge. But you get the bones out, you get yourself a fish fry going, and then you save those premier pieces for a special dinner for you and your wife, or you and your boyfriend, you and your husband, whatever it is. But that is a skill that every angler needs to know how to do, is process a Y bone fish.
All right. So what's the question? You got a question for us? You got a question for the audience so that we can give this pink crankman a go and
what are we gonna do?
Wrap this episode up or what? I love you and all, but it's like almost 10 o'clock here.
That's fine. Do you want to do a numbers game? Do you want to do a trivia game? Play Parcheesi. I actually have Parcheesi in the closet. If you want,
that would be great. That would be great. That's good television.
I love Parcheesi.
How about? Oh boy, this is such a tough one. All right, I'm going to come up with a.
This is why
trivia.
I recommend I run the show.
Right. Well, you're supposed to be hosting tonight. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Fishing trivia.
I'm trying to run the show, but you keep railroading my segments.
You went for chili. And then all of a sudden I had to just pick up dead air.
I got stew and I got chili back there. Everybody knows you got to stir it. Come on.
God. All right.
Bama has an idea. Okay, the question is.
The question is. Just kidding. Hold on. The question is.
Do you want to do what was the name of Bama's first video ever on YouTube?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. All right, we'll do that. What was the name of Bama's first video ever? You're going to probably have to log off our site, go to Bama's site and figure it out, and then come back and answer the question.
And then let Bama know what it was.
You know what? Bama know what it was. Frank, do you know the answer? Because I don't know the answer to that. I can't log off.
Oh, yeah. Of course I know the answer. It's easy. You go onto the phone.
That's what we got to do. Now I got to go way back.
You go onto the phone. You go onto YouTube. You go onto Bama's Outdoors. I'm telling everybody how to hook it up.
I'm thinking for future episodes, we should probably have the answers in front of us as well as the questions.
Nice.
Yes, for the grand prize.
Yes, it's a learning process right now. See? Second episode, getting a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to watch. Third episode, oh my God, we're going to have the answers too. I love it.
So I don't see. He said he answered it already? Marcus said he answered it already. Where did you answer it, Marcus?
He put how to tie a spinnerbait. Was that the very first one?
Was not the very first. No.
No.
That was probably like my seventh video.
Hiking at Moccasin State Park. Was that?
Oh, that was it.
That was it?
That is the first episode of Bama Outdoors.
Hiking at Moccasin State Park.
Yep.
That was a minute ago.
This guy he killed it tonight. He is the Mike Burnside of.
Was it Klopp?
It was John Klopp. He got it.
Oh, come on.
He got it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. Congratulations. He's got the gold now.
Oh, we can't let it end on John Klopp winning everything.
He won everything. They're going to have to tune in next week.
No.
Winners. Look at that. John, you got this coming to you, buddy.
That's big.
This is one hell of a great crankbait.
John, we're going to try and get that signed by Aldo Rosado for you. And everybody, I mean, you can fish with it if you want to, but I kid you not, that is going to be something that you're going to want to put in your collection. It's a piece of fishing history. And, John, you got that sucker for free from here on LKM Coast to Coast. So cherish it, my friend. Cherish it.
Absolutely. Now, I don't want to say that we're going to be selling these, but we're probably going to be selling these as well. But for right now, you just want it nice and free.
Honestly, I mean, that's going to be up to Aldo. I'm just pleased that he has given us some to spread throughout the family. I mean, this type of knowledge should not only be with the elites. It should also be with us common folk. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The legendary Aldo. Yes. Well, I thank everybody for coming tonight.
Hold on. We are giving away something else to somebody besides John Klopp because we are not doing a repeat of Mike Burnside last week because he crushed it last week.
Well, John's crushing it this week. There's nothing we can do. The guy's smart. He knows the answers.
That's fine.
You're the only one that knows the answers, but you can't win.
We are giving away something else this week. And I have here myself a 3.5 ounce bag of Totally Taco.
Yes.
Sweet.
If you have not gone over to Blue Collar Fishing, last night he had Steven on, Beetlejuice. Yeah, that little head with the.
That was so funny because his camera was set up.
Move your camera, dude. Yeah.
So his head looked really tiny. That was cool.
So I did not get to see that live, folks. I apologize. I have been out on location for work quite a bit lately. I may be out on location for a week and a half. We are going to see how that transpires, if I'm going to be able to call in. But nevertheless, I did watch it, Kelly, on the replay. And it was a great episode of Go Over to Blue Collar Fishing. It was Steven from Far Out Foods. Bama, have you gotten some Far Out Foods yet?
I had some a long time ago, but
It's been a while. You know what? As a guest on our show, we really thank you, and we are going to get you some Far Out Foods. We really appreciate you coming on, and we're going to send you out some Far Out Foods and let you enjoy some of those Far Out Foods. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd stake my reputation on these spices. A lot of new stuff coming out. There's a Buckin' Barbecue. There's a steak seasoning. And there is the hot Cajun sprinkle. But everybody knows about the Righteous Ranch, blah, 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 all of them.
One more.
But I'm going to give away some Totally Taco, my friends.
There's one more coming out as well. I got to talk about it. It's called Far Outdoors Spice. It's an spice. It's everything for the outdoors person that's going out camping, you're going out hiking, you're going out fishing, you're going out hunting, and you want to cook something in the woods. You got a Far Outdoors Spice that goes on everything. And that's coming up soon. Yep.
I also have a spice coming out, my friend. So there is it's a chili lime spice that we're trialing right now also. It's a chili lime spice that Steven made some for me, and we're going to get some out to some people and see how they like it. If you ever tried a product called Tahine, it's very similar to, there you go, to Tahine. T-U-G-I-N. Yeah, it's a chili lime spice. And we're going to get some of that out to people too. The beauty of people who especially have saltwater fish or very clean white fish, the chili lime, right? In order to draw out the true flavors of food, you need a citrus, and it could be a lemon, it could be a lime, et cetera, et cetera. And then a lot of us like a little bit of hint of spice too. And so what the chili lime does, and you can use this on fruit. So you sprinkle this on fruit, and it draws out that almost fake flavor to fruit, that really rich flavor to fruit. You put it on any of your whitefish. It's a great, simple spice to put on your whitefish. Very delicious. I'll send some to you, and you can stop making that face. So, point of the matter, folks, is the Lizard Queen has written down a number from 1 to 17, and the first person to come up with that number, she's writing down a number from 1 to 17. Write it down. She has a number from 1 to 17, and the first person to write that number down wins themselves 3.5 ounces of Totally Taco, and that will be sent out tomorrow because I'm so far behind on my sending out my stuff. I'm sending out a mass mailing tomorrow, so it'll come out to you tomorrow.
That was great.
So go ahead and throw some numbers up there, folks, and you could win yourself some Far Out Foods Totally Taco. This is 3.5 ounces. This is out of my personal collection.
12, 7, 17, 9, 7, 3, 7.
All right. Lizard Queen, could you please show the number in the camera? My hands are right here.
And John Klopp is the winner.
Oh.
I'm just
He's joking. He's joking.
Number 3 is going to Jennifer Prickett.
Is that Prickett?
Number first.
What up, Prickett?
Jennifer got number 3 first. She's getting some Totally Taco from Far Out Foods. Congratulations, Jennifer. We thank all of our guests here watching us live tonight for tuning in to LKM Coast to Coast. We want to thank Bama Outdoors for being our guest. Chris, thank you so much for stopping by and chatting with us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Had a great time, man. Great time.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. Good time. Next week on LKM Coast to Coast, you're going to be sitting here with us in Ed Seiler. We're going to be talking some hunting. We're going to be talking some fishing. We're going to be talking about outdoors. And it's going to be a lot of fun. What were you saying, Frank? I see you in there. Go ahead.
Well, I may or may not be here next week, folks. Monster may have a special guest host. I am possibly going to be being deployed. I don't want to use that word. Possibly going to be sent out for work on location somewhere. I will try and call in during. We shall see what happens. Things are a little up in the air. My job sometimes is very up in the air. Myself would like to thank everyone who showed up here, LKM Coast to Coast on FFN, Fishing Family Network. Please like, please subscribe, and please hit that bell for notification button. I want to thank all of our sponsors that rotate from week to week. This week we had Cowboy Coffee Chew. I think we gave a mention to Cranking Customs. We gave some love to Marty's Lures a couple times, and Far Out Foods.
Yeah.
And special thanks to Aldo Rosado for allowing us to merchandise some of his legend. And I hope everybody enjoys themselves. And thank you, Bama Outdoors, Bama, Chris, for showing up. You're a gentleman. You're a consummate angler, and you're a good friend. And I really appreciate you sticking up for us when the time was right. And thank you, everybody, for coming on tonight. And why don't you go ahead and take that away? Thanks, Chris. And thanks, Sonny. And we'll see you all next week.
Have a great night, guys.
God bless, guys. Have a good night.
God bless, Chris.
Bye.
Thanks.